This confession tape, which we're kind of going to the diddler a little bit, but Jonathan Odie, if you guys don't know this guy, let me make it a bit smaller. This guy was a guy who shot up, on May 18, 2018. Officers responded to the Trump National Doral Miami hotel regarding multiple reports of an erratic man with a gun in the lobby. Okay, he had taken over the lobby, dropped an enormous American flag over the resort desk. Details of the incident was covered in a story published. Blah blah blah. Apparently, he had also fired off shots. Okay, this was the guy here. This guy's like sliding all over the place. You would think that this motherfucker was sliding on baby oil. I think he dropped. Did he drop the gun? So this is a guy. He's slipping all over the place. I think he dropped the gun right here. This is him with the gun. I don't know if this is before, but he's firing shots. You could clearly see the police in the background. Apparently, he gets shot eventually. Okay. And he is taken into custody. Anyway, he does an interview. And I want to find the relevant parts because this is long. This is a long-ass interview. Does anybody know where he mentions stuff? Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Corruption and abuse of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family. Okay, they have children between themselves. Why? Because
so he's gonna speak about. So this is a guy who got shot. He again, the original story. He goes into Trump's hotel that's connected to a golf course. He has a gun. He puts an American flag. He starts shooting at people. Police respond. He gets in a shootout with them. He gets shot, but they take him into custody. Eventually, they talk to him in the interrogation room, and this is the interrogation. And he's not even really silent. He's actually just talking yo, I'm gonna just expose this whole shit because I know a lot. But he says some things about the entertainment industry. And that's why this is continually relevant because he spoke about Diddy and even Cassie. Let me play this real quick. I'm going to take a picture real quick, all right?
They have that issue, you understand? They want superiority of the race. Mm-hmm. They see it that way. But it it backfires on them because it makes them simple-minded. You understand? When you have sex with someone in your family, your kids are not going to come out smart. You understand? They're going to come out dumb. Alright? So, Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out, and they have an agenda to kill him. Okay? Example. If you look at the Illuminati card games, example, okay? You look at the game, Illuminati card game.
I'm not familiar with it, so help me understand.
It's a card game.
It's a card game.
That tells you exactly what their agenda is.
Gotcha.
It's called mental pre-programming. That means that you predispose already once you play this, your mind is already predisposed at this happening, and you accepting it. Okay? So they have a picture of Donald dead in that game.
Oh, okay.
Alright? I'm not crazy. They have the picture of Donald dead. But they also had the Twin Towers. They had everything on there.
Gotcha.
Okay? From A to Z. So it's kind of like a hidden agenda, which they try to make it open to our eyes. But
now, again, this is a 35-minute video. If we really look through the whole video, like he starts talking about a lot of like things that you would imagine that a conspiracy theorist would go down that realm. Again, this was ignored for years. Remember, this was a interview that was done, I believe, in I think September. No, well, it was done in 2018 or 2019. None of it mattered until late 2023 when Cassie made the lawsuit alleging that Diddy had sex workers and multiple sex workers having sex with her, that she then, you know, didn't really, she said she wasn't consensual with, but she felt like she had to do it by force. And we were like, what? Diddy was letting sex workers fuck his girl, Cassie? Because obviously, like, she was also alleging that he was mad jealous. Like, that doesn't even make sense. If you're really jealous of a girl, why would you want sex workers to, fuck her or whatever? But also, like, if you think about it more on a sick level, like maybe Diddy's just a sick guy. Yeah, he'll blow up Kid Cudi's car because he knows Kid Cudi. He looks at Kid Cudi as a peon in the game. Like, yo, you're a nigga who's not on my level, right? Yo, as a guy, you ever had this thought, be like, yo, you wouldn't be mad at whoever your girl fucked in the past as long as they just didn't exist no more. Not that you want to kill them, but it's just like, all right, if they just didn't exist no more, cool, right? Like, you're not that mad about it, right? And I'm like, maybe Diddy was like, oh, well, these sex workers that I hire, because he clearly was jealous, right? Like that's the part of the story that don't make sense with the Diddy thing. If you're so jealous about Cassie, why would you hire people to fuck her? Like, that shit doesn't make sense to me. But maybe he was just like, yeah, I don't want you to fuck my peers because I got to be in the studio with these guys. Like, I'm popping bottles with them. I'm like in parties with them. Like, I don't want none of these guys looking at me like, man, I fucked your bitch better than you, right? But a sex worker, you're coming for the job and, like, you're never more being seen. Like, you're just going to go off in infinity. You're not going to be texting my chick. It's over, and, it's up to me if I ever want to bring you back around, right? So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, maybe that's why he did the sex workers thing, right? Does that make sense to y'all? Because I can't get it. If we all know a nigga who's like mad jealous or like, overly, insecure or jealous over his girl, that's not the same person that allows people to fuck his girl. So why did Diddy do it? And I'm like, well, I think both could be true. He's jealous and insecure of his peers, of Kid Cudi, of whoever else fucking her, but he don't care if it's somebody he's not gonna see ever again or just won't matter, right? I don't know. I'm trying to understand it. Anyway,
we really don't see it. We're so busy working.
It's kind of like hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
somebody said Adam 22 did it. Well, Adam 22 kind of did the same thing though. Like, like I remember asking Adam, I'm like, yo, you let this guy Jason Love fuck your girl, would you let me? And he pretty much just said no, right? Like, and I've seen other people say that, like, well, you let this porn star fuck your girl, would you let me? And apparently people who are into that, they have a way to like discern and differentiate and be like, yo, I won't let you like whoever fuck my girl because like I'm cool with you and I'm always gonna talk to you. But this person that I never have to see again unless I want to, or this person who is just completely different and I don't know them, they seem to not have a problem. I don't know.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule.
Now, we Googled this before, so, the Boule definition supposedly is, it's like the Black Illuminati. I don't know if we're going to find the right thing, but apparently it's the Black Illuminati. It's called the Boule.
The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had settlement with Sean. Okay. And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay? When I take Sean on the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters.
There we go. So he describes, this is again maybe 4 to 5 years before Cassie files a lawsuit and admits and blows the lid off this whole freak off operation. It says he was having prostitutes fuck me while he watched and masturbated. That even sounded crazy because black people don't do that normally. That's what I'm thinking. Then we get a video, or someone recalls a video of a guy describing exactly that. A guy who we thought was crazy, but he's describing that almost like 4 to 5 years ago, while the Cassie lawsuit dropped literally a year ago, right?
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won.
Wow. So that's also like an interesting thing that people are not like, taking note of. He's saying from the freak offs he caught the herpes virus. Now, what that's leading me to believe, again, obviously, even if you think he's crazy, he just successfully guessed before we all now know an exact type of behavior that he's actually accused of and actually criminally accused of. We're talking about Diddy. These freak offs where men would, sex workers would have sex with Cassie, and he's saying, yo, I was a sex worker and I used to have sex with Cassie. Like, he said this before the lawsuits. He then admits that he caught herpes. Now, here's the important part about it. What I am to believe, right, is, and again, I'm going to put a lot of disclaimers on this. If a sex worker who came in to do this act, and he didn't say he had sex with Diddy, but who knows if he did, he said he caught herpes. Where do you think he caught herpes from? Chat, just do the math for me. Allegedly. He's saying he caught herpes from the freak off. But in terms of who he fucked at the freak off, now granted, here's the thing too. We don't know, and maybe this comes out in trial. Maybe Shorty might have got that from Diddy. So maybe Diddy gave it to her, and then she would just subsequently pass it to whoever else was having sex with her. And I'm guessing it was probably a situation that Diddy didn't give a fuck. If she was diagnosed, to be like, oh, okay, let's make sure, you could do this in a safe way. She was just like, oh, no, I want to have a freak off. I don't give a fuck if you have an outbreak. I don't give a fuck what's going on, right? Interesting.
But did Mark Erebos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead towards Donald Trump?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had he dropped Michael and they...
Chat, you want to know how things come full circle? Remember I Googled this guy before a couple days ago? Mark Garagos. So according to this prostitute back in, this gigolo, whatever you want to call him, back in like 4 or 5 years ago before all the lawsuits, he said that Diddy had this guy. Remember, this is something that supposedly took place in like LA. Diddy had this guy, which by the way we do know is Chris Brown's attorney as well now. You see him right here. Diddy had this guy and somebody else named Ben Mercedes. They're the ones who made sure that Diddy was going to be pretty much indemnified for whatever actions that was done with this male prostitute. Isn't it ironic that now that Diddy has a federal case, guess who's defending him? Not the Mark Agnifilo dude. Well, yes, the Mark Agnifilo dude, but who's the second in command? Ironically, who the sex worker mentioned, Mark Garagos, his daughter, Tenny Garagos, right here, who is Meet Diddy's Nepo baby lawyer. Look, this is an article that was written, what is this, yesterday. His Nepo baby lawyer is Tenny Garagos, whose famous celebrity attorney dad, Mark Garagos, defended Chris Brown. Also, again, just kind of goes to credence. Yo, if this guy was just out of it in line, he just knows a lot of shit that happens to be true.
OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him because they keep the royalties.
Now, here we go. Now he starts saying some stuff which I still think is cap, but like, he's saying it. I mean, he's been right so far.
It's possible. I threw everything out. It's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible. I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead towards Donald Trump?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had he dropped Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017, which who keeps that royalty? The music companies. Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes does. Kenny Mercedes, which is Gruber Mercedes Shire out of New York. Okay? So what they've been doing is they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him. Okay? Because they know he is very alpha. Okay? Very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women.
Now, this kind of makes sense, right? They're saying that this is after Trump has lost. Well, yeah. So Trump is in office at this time, actually. They're saying that Diddy and his political connects through his lawyers are promoting hate for Trump. By the way, interestingly enough, this new election cycle, there was no involvement from Diddy.
They know they want to defame in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government, okay? But it ain't happening because it's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
You're trying to, right?
Don is intelligent. We have a similar type of intelligence and overview of things. The only thing is he's not seeing that Hillary is a distant cousin of his and Obama have a different plan for him. You understand? No offense with Obama. I love each and every American, but he was part of that 9/11 agenda. He's a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent. That's why there's so much.
I've always thought this about this Odie guy. Like, I think he's like a conspiracy theorist, but like, he's like one of the best of them because conspiracy theorists usually have zero proof. He has enough proof that you want to listen to him. But then he says some stuff you're like, yeah, this got to be cuckoo, right? Like, no.
Identity issues with Obama. Who knows his real name? They say he was born in Indonesia and he's also born in Hawaii. Nobody knows. Why? Because he's an ex-CIA agent.
Okay.
Basically, Osama bin Laden never existed. It was a creation of the CIA, and it was Obama in a cave talking shit and looking like an Arab. And then they bombed the Twin Towers. Okay? So my problem is, I'm here to expose each and single one of them to the American public for the crimes committed on September 11th, 2001, and therefore. Okay?
Now tell me though, how all of that led up to Thursday night, Friday morning.
Well, I've been trying.
Yeah, the investigator basically said, "Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Like, why'd you bring the gun in here?" Anyway, unfortunately, I think this guy was right a little bit. I do think he's a little bit cuckoo, but it's just like, yo, he's been right. Now, granted, like the other stuff he's saying, we can't just give him infinite amount of time for him to be right. It's clear that he was involved in something. I do think he was a sex worker. And I wouldn't be surprised if the feds try to reach out to him and try to like speak to him in some capacity that they could verify some of the freaky shit that was going on. Because clearly, you know, even if he says he's not a sex worker, it appeared that he was dealing with people in that position in a very, you know, frequent manner based on his demeanor.
Settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because otherwise I'll be sued. So I let.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually believe that guy. Unfortunately for some of y'all. Anyway, yo,